The second factor for developing a literacy component to your intervention system is the use of data to differentiate instruction. Progress monitoring assessments provide important data for guiding differentiated instruction. Teachers use this data to inform their instruction based on students' changing needs and skill development. Progress monitoring assessments help to determine which reading skills students have mastered, which skills may need to be reviewed and retaught, and it helps identify what the instructional focus needs to be for small groups of students who need extra help. Progress monitoring should measure the most important reading skills at each grade level. In kindergarten, assessment should focus on phonemic awareness skills, especially segmentation and substitution or elision. Students in first grade should demonstrate fluency with word recognition, non-word or pseudo-word reading, and oral reading of connected text. In second grade, mastery in the areas of fluent word recognition and oral reading fluency becomes critical. In third grade, measuring the areas of word recognition, oral reading fluency, and text comprehension becomes critical. In addition to formal assessments, a skilled teacher may decide to embed an informal reading measure into a classroom lesson as a quick and efficient way to collect student data on the spot. For example, listening to how a student reads a text that is slightly too difficult can yield useful information about decoding strategies. Similarly, a student's oral summary of a story that was just read can tell the teacher how well the student is comprehending the sequence of main ideas. School leadership MTSS teams can play an important role in developing decision rules to provide teachers with guidelines for interpreting data and differentiating instruction. For example, a teacher who is monitoring students' word identification skills could use data decision rules to determine whether or not they are ready for reading more challenging material. In supplemental intervention, progress monitoring helps to distinguish those students who have mastered important benchmark skills from those who continue to require extra help. When providing our most intensive tier of support, regular monitoring is critical for determining whether students are making adequate progress, are ready to be moved into less intensive intervention groups, or need further evaluation. Progress monitoring in the supplemental tier should be conducted weekly if possible and no less than once a month. Schools may find that supplemental intervention programs, particularly those that are off the shelf, contain weekly mastery tests that are useful for monitoring progress. Since student skill levels change over time and in varying degrees, progress monitoring data can help to regroup students receiving supplemental instruction so that they are placed with others who have similar skill development needs. Regrouping should occur approximately every 6 weeks. Your tiers of support are not meant to be rigidly defined groups of students. Rather, any well-designed MTSS framework should allow for fluid movement across the tiers. Progress monitoring allows teachers to determine when students are ready to be assigned to a new tier. And if schools use clear decision rules with their student performance data, students should never find themselves stuck in the system. For example, if students show adequate response to supplemental or intensive interventions, they can be transitioned back into differentiated core support alone. For students receiving supplemental instruction who do not make sufficient progress after a reasonable amount of time, the school-wide team can recommend a more intensive intervention plan. Developing an intervention system is a complex process that can require school staff to take on new roles and develop new skills. Districts and schools should be prepared to provide professional development that is focused on how to efficiently and reliably administer assessments, apply decision rules, interpret data, and use the information for planning instruction.